welcome to the Outside Man. How you going, boys?
Excellent.
Excellent. This is the layman's guide to rugby league. So we talk all things footy.
We love the footy.
Yep. You guys have a good weekend though?
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yep.
It was
Spectacular weekend.
Yeah.
Watched a bit of footy, a little bit of footy.
Did we get to see each other at all?
Yeah, we did. We went to the game.
Yeah, we went to the Broncos v
Sharks game.
Yep.
Broncos game, which we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
Anything else? Any other exciting things?
No. Not really.
You fall asleep and late somewhere. Late to get anywhere.
No, I did have a little nap on the bus on the way back, but other than that,
It was early.
Quick question, Jason.
Yeah.
How was your little trip coming in here, mate?
My trip was wonderful, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Explain to us what happened as you were coming into the shed.
Oh, my trip. I tripped over on the ledge into the shed, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't for the life of me think of what you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Like, what happened on the way in?
I'll put some safety tape down.
Yeah, I need some safety.
There is no lights out there.
Yeah.
We're literally sitting in a dark shed with one light up there.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
All
From
right.
humble beginnings, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
Anyway, the weekend was good, but the week was not.
Yeah. Should we start off with the origin though?
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get into it, shall we?
Hey. Down the barrel.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and share this video.
Yep.
Now let's get back to it.
State of Origin was on Wednesday night down in Sydney. Some controversy. If you haven't seen it, go and watch the highlights.
Yeah.
Lots of highlights in that game.
Joseph Suwali got sin bin in like the 7th minute.
Yep. So
Pretty much ruined the game.
big hit on
Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh knocked him out. He was shooting pit stars.
Yep. So do you reckon that, Jason, it was a send-off considering he was falling a little bit?
Oh, I still think 10 was enough for an Origin game.
Yep.
So I feel like that would have been enough, and then the game would have got closer again.
Yeah.
They had a interchange. So Reece Walsh left, but they got another player come in, so they still had their full complement.
Yeah.
I did hear in the news though a proposed idea that Swali goes for 10, but then after the 10. They can actually have another player come on the field.
Yeah.
Swali can't come back in, but they can still have 13 on the field.
Yeah.
And drop down to 3-man bench. I think that's probably a fair call. They get 10 minutes, the team that got dudded.
Yeah.
They get 10 minutes without a player, and they get an extra player for the game. It just makes it a little bit closer.
So I need to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Reece Walsh,
Yeah.
if it was a Maroon that did it to a Blues,
Yeah.
do you think we'd be having this conversation about changing the rules of the game to accommodate
Yeah.
I
not
think
losing someone
if
for the game? Like, there's a lot of talk about it now. Is this going to be implemented just for Origin, or is it something that should be implemented
I
across
think have a look at it across the game. I think if a Queensland player got sent off in the 7th minute, we'd still be talking about it.
So the only problem for me would be that it'd be like the hockey, where you have a dedicated enforcer on the bench, a goon, that just comes out to wreck someone, gets sent off. You know, the other team loses their targeted player who was, you know, probably going to be the better player on the team.
Yeah.
And then they get sent off, but then the team that committed the offence doesn't get penalised for it, only loses 10 minutes.
Well, they lose 10 minutes and their bench drops by a player. That's still pretty significant.
But you know, if you've got a struggling club that's only got 1 or 2 marquee players, and you lose one of those key players for the game, and possibly like Reece Walsh, because it was a Wednesday night, he's got 11-day mandatory stand down. He's going to miss 2 weekends of club games now.
Yeah.
Because 11 days falls on the Sunday after they play next.
Yeah.
Or the Sunday on the
Well,
Monday.
Swali's gone for 4 weeks too.
Yeah.
So he's copying. It's fine.
But if you got a goon that's on there, you don't really care if he misses 4 weeks, as long as he takes out that marquee player and you get the advantage and play on, win the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that advantage, but I don't know if anyone would try and do that, and not in an Origin.
Yeah.
Like they're all marking an Origin.
There's always ways. Like remember when the HIAs come in and everyone was getting HIAs and getting free interchanges?
Yeah.
I swear I saw one of that on the weekend as well. Who was it? One of them. I think it might have even been Katoni Staggs actually. When he did his knee, they pulled him off for a HIA.
Yeah.
I saw the trainer going like this, and he went off, and then he come back on 15 minutes later.
I don't like it when they like get hit and they lie down, and then it's they don't come off for a HIA, but they've tried to milk it for like, I'm like, if you lie down, you got to go off.
I think there needs to be severe penalties for milking.
Yeah.
Like obviously you got to define what it is.
Yeah.
And if it's a blatant milk, like what we've seen a lot of, your milking penalty changeover.
Yeah. Is that when the cow comes on the field?
Yeah, the Cowboys are.
No, a literal cow.
Yeah.
When you got to milk,
Like that one where your halfback, what's the young bloke?
Atkinson.
Yeah, who was it the other week? Someone played at his legs when he kicked and he fell on the ground, and then was it Harry Grant?
Yeah,
and he got
gave him a wink. Yeah. He's a funny guy. Eh?
So
yeah. Anyway, Queensland were way too good.
I still want to interject. I still think 7 minutes into the game, losing someone ruined the spectacle for everyone.
Yeah.
So I hear your point, and I don't want that to happen.
I agree.
But I don't think we got a decent game.
No, we didn't.
So,
and to be honest, New South Wales were better in attack and better in defence. And even after they lost Suaalii, they were still getting more metres, they were still defending better. The tries were really because of that
overlap on that.
The overlap on that one side.
But they scored
first too.
Well, we got the three tries because of that.
Yeah.
And then the intercept, Cherry Evans intercept. That was,
I actually hope
right place, right time.
I think, and I also think, and Queenslanders probably disagree. I think his intent was to hurt him, but I don't think his intent was to hit him high.
Yeah.
He's hit him high. He was falling. His legs were slipping down. So I feel...
His intention wasn't to hit him in the head. His intention was to hit him and hurt him.
Yeah.
Because he left the ground. He lunged into him like this. Like
if he left the ground, there's no way he would hit him.
He's sprung off the ground like that into him.
Yeah, we'll have to agree to disagree, but
he wanted to hurt Reece Walsh.
No, he wanted to hurt him, but I don't think he went to go high.
No, he didn't mean to hit him in the head, but he did go in to hurt him.
That's where intent is a different thing. So if someone like you said comes in and you can see they've just come in to go intent high, I reckon send him off for the year.
Like that. There was a couple of good big tackles in that game, wasn't there?
Yeah, I know.
Like those ones where the guy's on the ground and Jai Arrow just lands on his head.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a different
situation.
That Liam Martin tackle, that was a good tackle.
That was a beautiful tackle.
He played so well.
Yeah.
Him and Lenu. But
quickly also, Jace, I will say that I do hope that New South Wales do keep the same team. I know that they made a few errors and sometimes Teddy and also Nico Hines made a few errors, but I think that they were at times, because they were a man down, they were trying too hard to
trying to compensate.
Trying to compensate.
I'm pretty biased, so I don't think my opinion's valid in this conversation, but I thought Nico was okay.
Yeah.
He did. The first kick was a bit off, but I think a couple of other kicks were quite good. And he didn't have a centre next to him, so...
He also really hasn't had any experience, leading an Origin team around. It's a bit different.
I think that's his downfall for the pick. He hasn't had big game experience anyway.
Yeah.
So he will get better.
Queensland's credit though, they played really well. Those first 3 tries, they isolated those defenders, did really well. Lomax was a bit of a passenger on the wing.
Yeah.
So
Lomax did have a really good game though.
In parts.
Yeah.
In that moment, his defence was. He couldn't tackle the hammer for the life of him. But to credit they came on. Credit to Holmes. It's been said about his goal kicking in club level. He kicked for 7 from 7, so good on him.
good.
Credit there.
Yeah. On to the NRL. First game of the
National
weekend.
Rugby
Round
League.
14.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tipped the Tigers in this game, but the Dragons won 56-14.
I just got to put it out there. You've just got to tip the Dragons. I don't know if they're going to win,
Okay.
but I think you just got to tip them.
I did tip the Dragons on that, and the first half I was really starting to question my tip.
Yeah.
Half time was 12-14. Tigers were on top at half time. I literally turned away, and then next minute they were like 50-14. I'm like, what the heck happened? Speaking of kicking, Lomax 9 from 9.
Yep.
He had a blinder of a game. I think he got 3. Yeah, he got a hat trick as well.
Yep.
Was there any other hat tricks?
Couple of really big moments in this game. The hooker went off for a HIA.
Yep.
So Kyle Flanagan played hooker. Leilua came on as 5'8",
Cool.
and he was amazing.
Yeah, okay.
He was everywhere, all over the field. It was like,
Yeah.
it was very entertaining to watch this 100 million kilogram 5'8"
He's a big dude.
going around. The second one, a real controversial. Lomax went up for a ball, same time as the West Tigers winger. They're both going for the ball. Lomax's eyes didn't shift from the ball the whole way in, but unfortunately, as he's hit him, Lomax has gone up, and as he's hit the Tigers player's come down and smashed his head on the ground. So there was no send-off, there was no 10 minutes for that, because Lomax, not intentional, but it did put him in a position, so it was a penalty. But I hope that guy's all right. I haven't heard much more about that, but it did look really bad for the guy, but Lomax didn't do anything that I could see wrong.
Yeah.
And just quickly, do you think that the pressure would be mounted on benching Marshall as a coach? I mean, they've only won one this year.
Well, did you expect them to be off the bottom? No, I don't think anyone. I think he's safe with who he's recruited.
Yes.
So he's got Luai, he's got Taruvo, who I think is absolutely average, but anyway.
And just remember, he wasn't supposed to be head coach this year either.
Yeah.
Like, he was still supposed to be learning the craft. And then taking over.
And he's had to have these holidays too.
I don't disagree with that.
I think it was fine. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think this year. I think next year with Luai, if they don't perform, then it's going to start looking at what they're going to do there.
First game on Saturday was
devastating.
I tipped the Titans. I really thought that they were going to fire up this game.
As did I. I tipped the Titans. Titans, Rabbitohs at Seabus.
Rabbits won 46-12.
I just really like that spine on the Rabbitohs at the moment. So I tipped
You did
them.
pick it last week.
Latrell, Cody Walker, Whiten, and Cook.
Yeah.
And they stood up.
We got Origin Latrell back.
Origin Latrell. A really funny moment. David Fafita had done just about nothing all game. And then Cody Walker had a go at him. And then the next 2 runs, he's absolutely flattened Cody Walker as he's ran at him and just hammered him. It was so funny. The commentator's like, why would you wake up the beast? So that was an absolute crack up.
Yeah. If only Fafita did that in the second minute, though.
Latrell did he get sent off again on this one?
No.
No send-offs this time.
But yeah, like...
Just wondering why he didn't.
Dry Arrow scored a...
kicked a goal. I was trying to work out what that was for. But they were pretty clinical. The Titans didn't help themselves at all, and then the refs didn't help them. But that was just on the back of their bad play.
Sad. Anyway, this is what it is. They'll get better. First week back for JC, so...
Anyway, second game of Saturday night was Warriors beating the Cowboys 42-12.
The Cowboys.
So try of the round, maybe even the season. So the DWZ, the tap back.
Yep.
And then the try scored.
1 mil in that, hey?
Yeah, he was so close to that line.
I was watching this game at the Broncos game on the screen at the pub Yeah, and gee, I saw that live and that was great.
Yeah.
A weird sin binning.
Yep. You're not allowed to throw balls.
You can't throw balls at people's heads, and then you can't get hit in the head with a ball.
Yep.
So that was strange. So Chad Townsend, well, who was it? Harris Tavita was just walking back, threw the ball at his head. The ref's gone, you're going for 10. And then they said Chad was instigating it.
The funny thing is that Ben Hunt did exactly the same thing in the Dragons game.
Yeah.
He threw the ball at whoever the guy trying to tackle him was.
Well, the word of this season is consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you expect any less?
It wasn't, like we said, off air, it wasn't really that moment. It was the previous moment, and he's just decided he's penalising him for that.
Yeah.
But it looks rubbish when you penalise someone for throwing a ball.
Yeah. And also on the game itself, I will say the Cowboys were very disappointing. Like I was
They played better without their stars.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you do there.
Yeah, like...
Do they not want to play for Peyton, or...?
Yeah, I don't know. But tell us what you think, Carlin.
It was in the news today that Todd Payton's got a 46.8% win ratio.
Oh, okay.
And they said that that's the same sort of level as the other guys that were getting sacked. The other coaches that have got sacked, but for some reason he doesn't seem to be as under pressure as the other Sydney coaches.
Well, I think he won like Coach of the Year like 2 years ago, whatever it was, when they...
Why do you think they Cows did so bad last year?
Yeah, so...
Did they?
No.
You know, in the year, the Warriors did good under him as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Game of the round.
This was an absolute blinder. So good. So we were at Suncorp on Saturday night. In a sea of maroon, except for one little area where the members were.
One little Jace sitting in the crowd. Surrounded by Broncos supporters.
It was really, really loud until about half time. Then it went really quiet.
Time, and then I had to say goodbye to the Broncos supporters as they were leaving before.
It was really disappointing. 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It was just everyone just started leaving.
They're only losing.
They weren't even down that far.
10 points. It was 10 points behind.
Yeah.
They
more
could
than
have
enough
won
time
that
to come
game.
back, but the supporters just gave up on them.
It was
interesting.
Really disappointing.
I got to say, Katoni Staggs had a really good game.
Yeah.
He
was everywhere,
great.
had some really good runs, kicked the goals. It looks like he might have hurt his knee again, but then he came back and he was great.
But I did hear that Kevin Wilder said that it's probably the most disappointing half that they've played this year.
They just didn't come out of the
Their
sheds.
Origin guys were tired.
Yeah.
Haas did nothing. Paddy Carrigan in the second half didn't do too much.
Yeah.
And I think the Sharks 5'8", Daniel Atkinson did a really good job on man.
Yeah. And who's your young front rower that just dominated them?
Royce Hunt came on.
Yeah, he just came
for
on
15 minutes and just tore that game apart.
Yeah,
I know.
Sailor in fullback dropped a few bombs.
Yeah,
which
and then also the winger for the Broncos as well. They kept on the Sharkies kept on kicking down that side. And, like
Mariner.
He didn't.
Yeah, I don't think Oates touched the ball.
Oh, he had that run up the side, but then kicked it, and the ball just went.
Yeah. And he also had a run. They tackled him out too, but he tried hard.
Yeah. Do you reckon I'll be allowed back at Suncorp though, Matt? With my cheering?
You'll be fine.
Oh, they loved it.
They
loved it.
Especially those
they were confused.
people in front of us.
They loved it. They were confused because Jed was cheering for the Sharks but kept telling everyone he was a Roosters. Confused.
And if you do see it, young old lady and man and the young lady that were in front of me, I'm sorry. But I was excited.
Oh, they were having a good time. It was a good section. We were in a good section.
Very good section.
So
good section
good
for
people.
The win.
All our friends were loving it.
Yeah.
Up until halftime.
Can I give a shout out to Talakai playing back row first time this year? He did really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's out of position at centre, but back row he did all right.
Yeah.
All right, first Sunday game, Knights.
Look, I got to apologise. I said Storm were going to put 50 on them, and they didn't. So
it was actually looking like Knights were coming back for a bit there.
Yeah.
I didn't call this one very well. Nick Meaney had a day out. He was everywhere.
I do have to say though, and not because Melbourne are one of the lower teams that I like.
Yeah.
But they were getting all the calls.
Oh.
All the calls. The first half, I was like, what's going on here? They're getting all the calls.
There was a try there. There was a no try that got given as such, where like it was all back, and then the video referee said that it hit the Melbourne Storm arm. His arm was nowhere near it, and it was a try all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
It definitely looked like, not even being biased or anything, but it did look like the refs were keeping the Storm in it in the first half.
Yeah.
First 20 minutes of the first half. And then after that, it was...
Well, this is
on
about the
top,
season where, you know, Storm, Penrith, Broncos start getting all the calls.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, I will say that the game was a bit slow or a bit like stop-start at times. Like it went for a long time. But anyway...
Another game that sort of got turned around.
It was pretty entertaining.
Penrith Manly.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
32-22.
Manly were looking really good.
Talau hat-trick.
Yeah, so that was...
The wingers were having a bit of a day out.
Yep.
Sorry, I just meant in that first half. Right. That first half was fun.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Garrick's kicking was absolutely atrocious. 1 from 5.
Yeah. He's normally very good.
There was a bit of a scuffle between Luke Brooks and Jerome Luai.
Bit of a scuffle, yeah.
So it was. I do have to say one thing that I did notice, which we spoke about before, was that Penrith really seemed to play the head of the attacker in the tackles. Like they're pushing the heads down, they're getting in with the elbows. They're really... seems to be like, as they're getting up off the attacker, they're just doing whatever they can so, which you don't need to do that.
Can I throw out a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, throw it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter Wallace is their assistant coach.
Yeah.
Who did he play for? The Broncos.
And Penrith.
Yeah, but he did play a good chunk with the Broncos.
Yeah.
So where do you reckon he learnt some of those grubby tactics from?
Oh, you reckon he's gone to the Broncos?
Yeah, so he's gone to the Broncos, or when he's
I hear you, but I don't think of the Broncos and think they're grubby.
No.
I think they get really good penalties at really important times.
Yeah.
I think penalty Broncos.
I think, to me, with this game in particular, it seemed like Penrith were down and they were getting dominated from Manly.
Yeah.
So they resorted to the niggle.
Yeah.
You know, rough them up, get them angry, get them fired up, and then Luke Brooks just snapped. He's like grabbing onto Luai, and then they've had a bit of a scuffle, and because of that, they've played the ball. Brooks wasn't in position, wasn't able to make the tackle, and then Penrith.
I used to really like Penrith, but I don't like them these days.
It's tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jason. I used to really like this bloke. But these days, I'm not just not sure about it.
Because they're beating the Storm. They're
on top of the ladder syndrome, isn't it? Yeah.
But Manly were looking really good. I thought a bit hard done by, but Penrith were never.
There was only one more try.
Yeah.
Penrith only scored one more try. It was just all the goal kicking.
Kicking was.
And then the one. So
game of the round.
I had tipped every game until this
Monday
one.
round.
And King's I tipped Para because they beat the Sharks. I thought if you've beaten the Sharks, you just about beat anyone. So I tipped them and they let me down.
Doggies are turning into a bit of a sneaky this season, aren't they?
I tell you what, Stephen Crichton is playing out of his skin. I think Origin, he had an amazing game.
Yeah.
And this game, he did some things that were absolutely freakish.
Well, he got a double too.
He did a flick pass
Blake
for that Wilson.
Yeah.
He set up that Wilson try with a flick pass, and that was just sensational.
Yeah.
Burning kicked a really good 40-20 in this game too.
Yeah.
Mitch Moses was a bit out of timing. He did a few short passes to forwards to get over the line. They've just dropped them. So whether they weren't expecting it or whether it was just timing or whatever, but Moses was a bit off there. But he still kicked 3 from 3. That try in the 74th minute was clinch for the Doggies.
Yeah, and there was also a point there where, I mean, I must admit, I did have a bit of a nanny nap throughout the game.
Oh.
But I did see there where the doggies defended, three or four sets on their line in a row, and then they came back, they got the penalty, and they scored a try. So, I think their defence is the best in the NRL. So clearly they're doing something right.
Yeah. They're looking good. They're sneaky. They're in the top 8
good.
now.
Yeah, and they knocked the Broncos down once, so that's good.
All right, let's.
Where's the Roosters?
One above the Dogs.
Oh, okay. Moving on to the ladder.
Yep.
The Storm,
Take us away.
the Bludgers, the ones that get all the calls that Matt said, they've now shot to the top of the ladder.
In that game, the perception to me was that they did get the calls.
So,
but the difference was only 3 points.
By 3 points. Differential.
Yes.
The Storm are on top, just above the mighty Cronulla Sharks in second place. 2 points behind them is the Panthers, and then the Dolphins are in the top 4, but they're on 18 points, and so are the Raiders. So the Raiders are doing pretty well in 5th. No one would say they're a standout.
They've really come up.
They're in 5th, so they're going all right there.
Think back 2 weeks, or 3 weeks even.
They weren't in the 8.
They weren't in the 8. Yeah. Everyone was bagging them out, calling for Ricky's head. What is he doing with all these young guys? Got a big.
Well, they
big
missed
score put on
Rapiner.
them.
They missed having a steady fullback.
Yeah.
They also lost Fogarty as well. I mean,
yeah.
So they're doing well, and Fogarty will come back at the end of the year. So with all these young guys around,
well, that's what Ricky said. They're building. So
he said they'll have more shoppers.
Exactly.
That's what he said. Then on 16 points, we've got the Roosters, then the Bulldogs, then the Broncos, then the Dragons. So pretty congested there, and that brings us down to 9th place, the Dragons. Gee, the Dragons are doing well. The Warriors are in 10th on 15. They're getting some players back, so they're going to start climbing too. The Seagulls at 15. I don't know when Turbo's back, but they need him. Cowboys are on 14 points, which is surprising. They're at 12. 13 is the Knights on 14 points as well. Then we've got the Eels in 14th place, and the Titans in 15th place, and the Rabbits in 16th place, all on 10 points. And the Tigers, they're on 8, and they've had both their byes, and so they've only won 2 games, and they're struggling.
Yeah. So I will say that there's only like 4 points in between. Is it 5th place, and I think it's like, 13th. So.
Well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams on 16.
Yeah.
So fifth through to 11th.
And 6 is 3 wins.
Yeah.
15 and 6 is only 3 wins. So it is.
Well,
it
the
is
Titans are only
closer.
3 wins out of the top 8.
Yeah. So there's still time.
Everyone else needs to lose though. But anyway.
Yeah. All right, off to the next round. Is it a full round this weekend?
No, there's a few buys.
No, there's
there's a few buys.
out this week.
3, I think there's
So we've
3 out.
got on
Hang
buy.
on, I'm just
We've
scrolling.
got
It's
sorry,
only-
just the doggies. We made that up, Jed. You're 100%
See, I'm
right.
always right. All right, so who have we got on Thursday night, Matt?
So Sharks, Dolphins.
In
Get your
Cronulla,
fins up.
Easy win for the Sharkies.
I have tipped the Sharks. However, I don't know. I reckon Dolphins might even sneak a win down there.
It's doable.
What do you reckon? Well, Nico will be back.
Hope.
Nico will be back, so
Nico will be
that
back.
adds a bit of doubt into the Sharks side.
No, Nico is clutch.
I tell you what, if the Dolphins win, I've got a fin at home that I got at a Dolphins game a few years ago. You have to wear that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're booking in next week.
Yep. Well, book it in.
Otherwise, I'll wear it.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't want.
It doesn't matter. Cronulla will win. Easy.
All right, Raiders, Cowboys on the
Friday night.
night.
First game. I don't really know
I think
if the Cowboys will show up, so I have to go the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll go Raiders as well.
I really think Peyton has to drop some players.
Yes, absolutely.
Some good players. So that'll be the go. So in Canberra,
Yep.
Canberra got a strong side, so they really should pull it up there.
Canberra at home.
I'm just stalling, waiting for you.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah.
Stop working. Yeah. So the next game, Sydney Rabbitohs versus Broncos.
In Sydney.
In Sydney.
You got to go Rabbits.
Latrell is on fire. Gunning for a place in Origin.
Reese's still out.
Reese will be out.
Yep. I wonder if they'll play Sailor again down in Sydney.
I reckon they'll give him another shot for sure.
Yeah.
Like that was uncharacteristically.
Latrell is going to bomb.
Yeah.
The crap out of him.
This is probably going to be one of the games of the rounds to watch.
It should be a good test.
Do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The funny thing is, though, that the Rabbits have a really good record at Suncorp, but then when they play down in Sydney, the Broncos always seem to win.
Yeah.
So,
I got to go the Rabbits.
Yes.
I've tipped Broncos.
Yeah, well.
Let's go, Broncos. They played that song. Do you remember that song from when we were kids?
Yeah.
They used to play it on the TV.
Yeah.
I was singing it. No one in the crowd was singing the song.
Yeah. Actually, every time the Sharks scored, I was doing their little dance.
That's their dance. You're not supposed to do their dance.
Yeah, I know. No one was joining in with me.
You're not supposed to do their dance, Jed.
All right.
West Tigers.
Game of the
Titans.
Down at
Saturday
Leichhardt.
Arvo. Game of the round.
Oh, no.
Matt, will the Titans win?
Oh, yes.
I think they can.
I'll pick the
I think that
Titans.
they can win. They should win. Will they win?
Who knows?
Who knows? I've tipped them to win. I think there's a good shot.
You just look at that Tigers side, and there's really not really any player there that you're like, oh, that guy's going to steal the game from us.
Coruscant is their only player.
Coruscant, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Coruscant.
Yeah.
Clemmer.
He's old. He needs to go back and...
In all seriousness, the next game is going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
Warriors versus Storm in Auckland.
Yep.
Shout out Dean.
The tipping is pretty tight on this, actually.
Yep. Warriors are favourites, probably just because it's in New Zealand. I think I will tip the Warriors.
Yes, I think I will too.
I'm not sure they'll win.
I've actually gone the Warriors as well. I reckon they've got a good shot.
I might change my mind when the team was come out though.
Yeah.
That one will be interesting.
I probably will forget to change my tip. So, where's Pappenhausen? Is he out again?
He's still out.
Yeah, he's still out.
He hasn't come back.
Oh, hasn't he come back?
Saturday night, Jed?
Yep, Eels versus Roosters.
I've tipped the Roosters for this one.
I'm expecting a much better performance after our Cowboys performance. Probably Brandon Smith won't be playing, so
who knows?
You got to rock up to those Monday meetings.
You got to go to the meeting. No one wants to go to the Monday meeting. No one wants to be there. We've all got to go.
Especially not if it could be done with an email.
That meeting that should have been an email. Yeah, I think it's at Combank Stadium, so Para are pretty strong out there.
What's their history like, Jed, between the two sides?
I think it's pretty even.
So it should be a good
all
matchup.
the money is on the Roosters. If you follow the money, if that's how you do it.
But I think the bounce back factor after today would have to come into place for the Eels.
Well, Lenu's back. I mean, Lenu is the...
He played amazing.
He's the player.
Yeah, he played so well.
I don't care who the Roosters have got. Lenu, he should govern the Sharks.
Yeah. Look, I will tip Roosters, but
I'll tip Roosters.
Sunday afternoon nap game is the Seagulls v the Dragons.
I don't know if this one will be much of a nap though. This might be one to keep an eye on.
I just picked the Dragons now. If they lose, they lose, but I can't tip against them.
I'm tempted to tip the Dragons.
They're on again off again though. They scored all their tries last week. I've tipped Manly.
They've won 2 in a row now.
I think Manly have got a bit more wrestle in them.
Yeah, I just think the Dragons just seem to be going well. They're just in form.
They did look really good on the week.
They did. I'm tipping Dragons.
I'm going Manly at this stage. Who knows? Might change between now and then.
Knights Penrith. The Knights are at $4 because no one's given them a chance.
But they weren't that bad against Melbourne.
They weren't that good either. They slid in 30 points.
Yeah, that's true.
30 points.
Yeah. Panthers were a bit sloppy too.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
But not this week.
Yeah.
Like, Yo played Origin. Luai played
Yeah.
Origin. Like, they all played Origin.
Yeah. I'm tipping Panthers.
No,
Yeah, I'll
Panthers.
tip Penrith.
It's a bit hard to tip against them.
I don't know. Every time I say the Knights are absolute rubbish, they do turn around and play okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Penrith might even put 50 on them.
Ooh, he's putting it there.
Okay.
A couple of bold claims out there.
So I claimed that
bold.
last week, it never happened, so I'm trying again.
Well, that's it for this round. Other Origin news. NRLW Origin was on the weekend.
Yeah.
That was an amazing game. What about that field goal?
That was brilliant. I have to admit though, I didn't realise it was on until it was finished. But that field goal was absolutely clutch.
Yeah.
Like, watch the highlights. It was a good game.
It was like a tale of two halves.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
The first half, Blues were on top.
So they've got-
second half, Queensland.
They've got 3 games this year.
Yes,
they
so
do,
it's
yeah.
one-
So there's a
It's
decider.
one each.
Yeah. So that was
That's the
heaps good.
decider.
The decider will be great. Sorry.
Do you know where it is?
I'm just saying Newcastle. I don't really know, but that's where I'm going.
Down there somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
down.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to Google it yourself.
Yeah.
But what we really want is some subscribers. So
Yes, we do.
why don't you jump on it?
Yeah.
If you subscribe, your friends will find out about it, and they'll be thankful.
That's what I did for the first time. I actually
Right?
shared the page.
Oh, give it a share.
Look out.
Give it a like.
And then one of my friends, ended up sharing the podcast as well.
Wow.
Because I
See, there
shared.
you
Oh,
There you
find
go,
a
right.
friend. That'd be great.
go. Like, share, watch,
thanks.
listen to it in the car, put it on in the background.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate that.
Yep, I appreciate you, Jason.
Oh, thank you.
Do you appreciate the thumbnails that I make? Does anyone appreciate the thumbnails that I
Wait.
tirelessly make?
I like the
Week in, week out.
I'm going to enjoy the one this week.
Yep.
Uh,
I took the photo.
well,
No, I'm going to use that for the ladder,
Oh,
which they
okay.
would have seen already.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that photo that you saw, yeah. But anyway,
It was a
we got
cracker.
places to be, footy to watch.
yeah. I got
Supercoach to check off.
someone needs to cook me dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Don't look at me.
I don't think the cat's doing it there.
I've already cooked dinner.
Yeah.
But have a good life. Thanks for subscribing.
Catch you next
Appreciate
week.
it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.